What's so fascinating is, of course, at the same time as we worry about Silvergate's implications, we think about what's happening with Silicon Valley Bank at the moment, its exposure to technology, to startups. John, just want to bring our audience some breaking news that, interestingly, the Founders Fund, which a key VC player, is advising that its own companies should withdraw funds from Silicon Valley Bank. Now, we know the CEO of Silicon Valley Bank has been out there trying to reassure clients as to what the stock drop means, what the conservation of its capital at the moment is trying to signify. But ultimately, we are going to see some concerns being built if Founders Fund are indeed advising their own portfolio companies to withdraw funds from SVB. Can I ask you, as a founder, John, do you have money in traditional finance? Do you have money with Silicon Valley Bank?
Well, Silicon Valley Bank is one of the banks that we use, as well as some of the other ones that were mentioned. So I think the right thing, the prudent thing we've learned is counterparty risk once these things start. This is a classic bank run. And when the bank run starts, you don't want to be the last guy there and wondering what happened. Unfortunately, this is the way banks work. They rely on trust. When they lose that trust, bad things really will happen.
John, so I know we have so much to discuss about Ava and what's happening with Avalanche, but we have to stick with this story because it's happening before our eyes. What do you do in this situation? Do you follow the advice of names in the Valley like Founders Fund and pull the money? Do you stick with it? I mean, I have to just point out, there were a number of names that Bloomberg cited in its reporting that said what we're seeing in Silicon Valley Bank is not the same as Silvergate, and actually long-term they have a completely solid future. What would you do in this circumstance?
Well, hopefully there's enough. What I would do is you have to diversify out and maybe not pull everything, but pull some.
Have you,
we experienced this back in the great financial crisis where you had to diversify your prime brokers. Luckily, we have already diversified, so we're less exposed than we were literally just a few weeks or months ago.
Okay, and I think ultimately you're going to continue to dig, to ask questions. Has it been easy to gain that sort of information from Silicon Valley Bank at the moment, or are you relying on analyst reports that we get and indeed some of the reporting coming from our own journalists?
You're relying on your own interactions. The operator always has a better view. The cadence of responses and how things are working, the size of transactions, all of those little subtle hints is what we're relying on as an operator. By the time you read it in the news or something, unfortunately, it's probably a little bit late.